introduce you to Ray Fiennes, who's coming up after the news and sport.
Okay.
And then we'll do some Transformers, and then we'll do some movie reviews. And
what's the rule about when you say Rafe rather than Ralph? I mean, for him, he's always Rafe, but what is it that makes it Rafe rather than Ralph?
Because he wants it to be.
Oh, okay.
Basically, if you said, I would like you to pronounce my name Mirak, I would say it's Mirak. But, you know, if he says it's Rafe, it's Rafe.
Okay. And I'm Mirak, and you're Simoon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, you can choose how you wish your name to be pronounced.
I want to be called Luxury Yacht.
But if you want to try calling him Ralph, best of luck, mate.
Right, yeah.
As listeners will notice, it's a tough enough interview anyway. You know, he's frankly not particularly excited about bigging up this movie of his.
How does he stand on the 3D?
You're going to find out how he stands on 3D. Okay. You will instantly become aware about what he thinks about just promoting a movie in general.
Really?
Anyway, so obviously one of the stars is Ray Fiennes, who plays Lord Voldemort. He's back again. Bring me Harry Potter. Well, you're going to hear the real thing, actually. So you'll hear the chat, which I did with... I think my voice is about to get a bit better, actually, which I did a couple of days ago. Here's a sequence from the new movie where Hogwarts is under attack from Voldemort and his associated Death Eaters. And then, like a demonic tannoy, all the kids and all the staff hear this.
I know that many of you will want to fight. Some of you may even think that to fight is wise. But this is folly. Give me Harry Potter. Do this, and none shall be harmed. Give me Harry Potter, and I shall leave Hogwarts untouched. Give me Harry Potter, and you will be rewarded. You have 1 hour.
And now I'm delighted to say that we can welcome Ray Fiennes to the programme, about to appear at pretty much every cinema near you as the Harry Potter season finishes with the Deathly Hallows Part 2. Ray, good afternoon to you, sir.
Hello there.
How are you?
I'm very well, thanks.
It all ends here is the slogan. It's on all the posters. And I wonder if you have any kind of mixed feelings about that, really, because it's been such a huge deal for so many people.
Well, I think everyone's sad to see the end of something that we've all enjoyed being part of, but I also have a feeling it's come to a natural conclusion, and there's only so long you can string a story on for. So I think it's been drawn out long enough, I think.
Jason Isaacs has spoken on this programme about, wearing the gear for the last time. And Alan Rickman had that fantastic ad which he put in about, saying goodbye to his character for the last time. Was there when you put on your weeds, I don't know how you describe your outfit for the last time, was there a sadness there?
I can't honestly tell you that there was.
And was that because the makeup took quite a long time and was all part of the package, really?
I was sad to say goodbye to my rotten teeth that I had, which I'm in possession of. But the makeup was a bit of a trial, but it was okay.
And how long did it take every morning?
It took about 2.5 hours.
And was that the kind of time that you'd need just to sort of psych yourself into what you were going to do? I mean, was that a real irritation? Was that a chore, or did that just come as part of the deal, really?
Well, I got used to it. 2.5 hours in makeup actually isn't too bad. For some makeups can take a lot longer than that.
What's been worse than that?
A film I did called The English Patient.
Oh, yes.
It was 3 to 4 hours long on the makeup.
Yeah, I think we've heard of that one. I watched again your first appearance as Lord Voldemort when you first turned up at the end of Goblet of Fire, wasn't it? I mean, it really is for essentially a children's film a terrifying moment in film history, don't you think?
Well, I'm inside it. I can't tell. I hope it is. I thought it was very effective when I finally saw it. I thought Mike Newell did a great job, and it was. I think he should be scary. I mean, I hope Voldemort is scary for young people. And
in that respect, I wonder if it's one of the few times you will play a bad character with absolutely no nuance. There isn't, unless I've missed something, there isn't a good side to Voldemort.
No, I don't think so. In fact, I think there was one. I don't think at any time there was in the writing of the screenplays a sort of indication of doubt or something. I think it always was cut out, or I think the focus on the sort of megalomaniac will to power was always what I think the producers were focused on.
Yeah. The interesting development, I guess, certainly from my perspective, was the fear which we see in Voldemort as the. I don't think we're giving. I mean, we always get criticised for giving too much away, but hey, let's go with it. As the Horcruxes are destroyed and as your soul is being destroyed, is it the first? I mean, you're afraid. I mean, Voldemort is scared and angry.
Yeah, that's right. No, that's right. He's literally as he's sort of driving or is sort of approaching victory and creating the world he wants. He's actually being stripped of his power. Bits of his soul are being destroyed, and so I think and that was quite interesting to play, that kind of the sort of madness of someone who's sort of withering as bits of him are being destroyed, even as he achieves it, about to achieve all that he wants.
What did David Yates say he wanted in this?
I think he wanted to see particularly the sort of the encroaching doubt nibbling away at Voldemort as these things were destroyed, and the fury, the obsession with Harry was always something we talked about, because in a way they're connected. They're two. There's a sort of there have been times in the films when Voldemort has got into Harry's mind, and I think there's a kind of weird connection between the two of them.
One of the physical things I liked about the way you play the role right from the very beginning is the way you hold the wand, which is unique. No one else, I mean, unless I've missed it, I don't think anyone else throughout all the 8 films holds the wand quite in the way that you do. It's it's almost as though you're balancing it on your middle finger.
That's right. The palm is open a bit, and there was a hook, like a bird's claw at the top end of the wand, which I could just hook around my little finger, so it could literally hang and rest across the fingers and the palm of the hand. So it looked like it was sort of hanging there, sort of as you say, balanced there. That was a design thing we put in at the beginning. And
is it possible to just explain? I mean, this was being discussed when I dropped the kids off on the school run, because it's essential to this film and it's essential to the story. While we're talking about wands, can you explain the Elder Wand and why Voldemort is sort of in a rage about this supposedly the greatest wand ever, but why he's frustrated?
Oh my God.
That's pretty much what the kids were saying as well. Right, remind me again about why this is so difficult.
I have to tell you, I've loved playing Voldemort. I have sometimes found there's a sort of a maze-like detail to the story of wands and Horcruxes and the history of characters, which I sometimes find very hard to get my head around.
I suppose you don't need to trouble yourself with that, really, do you? You just have to point it and carry on. But the Elder Wand is a magnificent beast. I mean, I don't know whether they're as much fun to point and throw.
Well, it's the wand of all wands, isn't it? It's the wand of. It's the wand to have, I think.
There was a quote from Daniel Radcliffe in which he was talking about this film in general, in which he said it's kind of like a war film, and that's getting quite close to how the finished product is, isn't it?
The very end is a battle. It's a sort of Armageddon-like battle between Voldemort's forces and Hogwarts. Yeah, no, it's. I haven't actually seen the film, so I haven't seen what is actually done. But I when we were doing it, I imagined it was a apocalyptic feeling of conflict at the end.
This feels rather strange. So I'm sort of confirming to you that's about right, really. Having seen the film, that is exactly what it looks like. I mean, it is an epic World War II battle sequence at the end there.
Okay, yeah. No, I think it's. I always thought the films are wonderfully designed by Stuart Craig. The sets, the detail of the sets were always, I thought, extraordinary, wonderful world that he created.
It is the first in 3D. And I sort of put on the glasses with reluctance yesterday when I was watching it. What's your sort of instinctive reaction to this being in 3D and the whole 3D approach to movies now?
I haven't got no time for it. I don't get it. It doesn't appeal to me at all as a punter. I don't. It's a gimmick to me. But I love watching films as they always will. It has no interest in me whatsoever. But I see that it's obviously something people it must work, and that's why everyone's doing it. But I don't understand it myself.
I think the problem is particularly for a movie like Deathly Hallows, which is quite dark, apart from the dream sequences. It's a dark film because you lose the light in the projection anyway. You lose the candle power. It makes it, through the glasses, it becomes even darker. So once you've got past that sort of curiosity, it's quite a nice thing around the set in 3D, it becomes a little bit irritating, I think.
Well, I saw Avatar. It's the only film I've seen in the last 2 years in 3D. I mean, it was, you kind of admire the achievement of it, but I don't know that it enhanced or it made my enjoyment of the film any greater because it was in 3D.
Yes. Well, it's something Mark always says, you don't get to the end of a good movie and think, wow, I wish that had been in 3D.
No.
If it's an immersive film, it's an immersive film. It doesn't...
I don't get it. I don't get it, I don't understand it.
Do you think we'll grow to not love it? I mean, it's quite clearly.
Yeah, I think it'll go. I can't imagine. I mean, maybe big studio films they will do it for a bit, but I mean, for sort of smaller independent films and dramas and things, I mean, why would you want it in 3D?
Did anyone say to you about, because Coriolanus is coming up, which you've directed and you're in? And did anyone say how about Coriolanus in 3D?
No, it never came up for discussion.
And you'd have said no if it had.
I think so. Yeah, I think no, I don't understand it. I can't. It doesn't visually does nothing for me except as a sort of a momentary satisfaction of the belief that it might be a real object. But then it isn't. I mean, I like what the essential skills of cinematography are the ingredient that I most admire in films.
The early reviews of Coriolanus are fantastic. A lot of people sort of waiting for the general release. How long is it going to be before we get that, Ray?
Well, I believe it will have a premiere in the London Film Festival in October, but it will be on general release in January.
And I wonder if it's almost a perfect time because with that relationship between the military and politics, and people looking at what's happening in the Arab Spring, which often in many cases seems to be a military coup, it's right at the heart of international politics, isn't it? The messages.
Well, because of what's happening in the Middle East, yes, it is, and the upheaval and the sense of the people demanding a voice and a presence. That's very much a theme in Coriolanus, but I think it's always been there. I mean, I think these tensions between the people and the will of the people and military and people and men in power and their use of force against their own people but at the heart of Coriolanus really is a relationship between a mother and a son. I think it's in a way it's like an extraordinary political thriller with this sort of mother-son relationship at the centre of it.
Well, we look forward to that in the autumn and next year, and we appreciate you speaking to us, Rafe. Thank you very much indeed.
All right, thank you so much. All the best.
That's Rafe Fiennes speaking to me a couple of days ago, which I enjoyed very much, apart from not only did he agree with you entirely on 3D.
About 3D, yes.
But
that's got to be a headline, is it? Voldemort slams 3D. It has no future, says Prince of Darkness.
He also is utterly baffled by the wand sequence when he says, yeah, the elder wand, it's the wand of wands, isn't it? So I had to confirm to him that indeed it was.
There's a tweet with 21st Century Cat. Brilliant. Rafe Fiennes admitting on Radio 5 that he doesn't understand the Harry Potter story.
Yeah, which is an interesting moment. Anyway, we thank Rafe Fiennes very much for gracing us with his presence.
And he is very good as Voldemort. But I'm sorry, I'm with him on 3D. And then can I incidentally say, get you with your, oh yes, it reduces the candles. Suddenly, what, you're going to start talking about foot lamberts next? Suddenly you don't need me.
Listen, I don't.
No, demonstrably not.
I've sat listening to it long enough. I can bring those points into the interview without you being there.
There's a real skill that is taking a tiny bit of knowledge and skimming it to make it appear that there's a whole depth below it.
I made a career out of that.
Yes, we both have.